Hey guys, how you doing tonight? This is Bear with Bear's Den Acrylic Art, and we are back with another painting video. So I have been getting a lot of really great feedback about the series Ghost on Ghost that I had done several weeks ago using interference colors over a white base. And one of the viewers, Tahira, asked if I could do the same thing using the same interference colors, doing a Dutch pour, this time on a black base. And she is in luck because today was like Christmas. I got paints from Jerry's and paints from Jackson's in the UK, and my piggies came and my Aussie Floetrol came. But the deal that I made with myself, how I rationalized all of those purchases, was I needed to use up things that I already had mixed before I could start, building that mess back up again. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I have a 12 by 36 gallery wrapped canvas that I have taped and pinned, and the edges are painted with the Oxide Black by Amsterdam. And we are just going to do a Dutch pour using interference colors by Golden and just do it on a Dutch base. So let me get this canvas flooded and I will meet you back here in just a minute. Okay, and we are back. The canvas is flooded, the bubbles are popped, and we are gonna get started. So, the first thing I'm going to lay down is the Pearl White by Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. And I always put this down first just to, one, block out, the shapes that I am hoping to achieve, but also to, maybe serve as a catalyst for, cells popping up. Since the Golden interference paints, they're not metallic. They generally, they don't really like to sell too much, but I've had a lot of luck with the Pearl White by Dazzling Metallics. So with this 12 by 36, I'm just going to keep it real simple. And I am going to, let's see, why don't we, since this is about the middle, okay, and we'll just mirror that, or try to at least. All right, so this is a good shape. So rather than, section out the individual colors like I would if I were doing like a rainbow pour like I did with my Pride paintings, I think I'm just going to run each of them the entire length and see what that yields. Now, all of these paints, most of them are the fluid acrylic, some of them are the heavy body, but the way that I have them mixed, you probably aren't going to be able to see this, but the consistency, it drips off the stick, and it leaves a trace and immediately goes away. It doesn't leave an indentation, but it doesn't leave a mound on a mound. For all of the paints, my baseline Dutch pour mix is, 2 to 1 to 0.75. So 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint to 0.75 parts water, and then a little squeeze of the GAC 800 just for good measure. And that usually gives me the consistency that I need. So hopefully, that will be of some benefit to you. So first one that's going down, this is the Interference Violet, which is just a gorgeous color. I can do that better. Yeah, I am stupidly happy that my new piggies came, and I cannot wait to start using them. I've been following a lot of Molly's artistry, what she's been doing with her swipes and tilting it out, which I've just been dying to try because I don't yet do blooms. So the way that she's been doing it, you don't have to use the house paints to get something of a similar effect. It's not nearly the same as a bloom, but if you haven't seen what Molly has been doing, it's really quite lovely. Okay, so that was the Interference Blue. Next we have the Interference Green Orange. All right. Followed by the Interference Gold, which is standing in as my yellow. Now the gold and the blue were my heavy-bodied acrylics, so they needed a little bit more water than the fluid acrylics, obviously. But again, I start with the 2:1 to 0.75 as kind of like my baseline and go from there. Now that's a lot of that can vary. Are you using a soft body tube paint? Are you using a metallic tube paint that has mica, because that is going to need more water? So it's trial and error, and you actually develop a muscle memory. So what the right consistency feels like, as you are stirring. And man, I am just going crazy with the amount of paint on here. This is probably going to come back to bite me, but c'est la vie. So that was the orange, and this is the last with the Interference Red. All right, so I am going to torch this. And we are going to bring in Drew to go to work. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to start this way and work my way over, then blow down this way and then work my way over. So let's see what this looks like, shall we? Okay, I am fairly happy with that. Yeah. What I'm noticing right off the bat is I got more, little cells and some lacing on this side than I did over here, but perhaps that will change with a light torching, and I am almost out of gas here. These are the things that you should do before you get on camera. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to work on this little section. I want to try and streamline this a little bit. So let's break out the straw. And just with a very gentle breath, just using the straw to kind of sculpt the lines. And we're going to blow this side over. I have to say that overall, I rather like this. Now, the true test is going to be, what is this going to look like when it dries? Now, the last ones that I did, the ghost on ghost, because it was on a white base, it was a lot more forgiving as far as the interference paints, depending on which angle. As you can see clearly, there's a whole lot of white going on, but as this dries, you still should be able to pick up the individual colors depending on the angle. So I am quite pleased with this, and let me get the edges cleaned up, and I will bring you down for the look-see. Okay, so this is the close-up. As always, pardon the less than ideal lighting. So yeah, so you notice all of the lacing, the little bit of cells on this side that weren't quite as present on this side. But that being said, like right here, you can still, very clearly make out, the blue from the violet, all right? And when this dries, those other colors, especially those closer to the, the center line, will come through. At least that's the hope. So, all in all, I have to say I am pretty satisfied with this. I hope that it dries well. So, we'll see what happens. So just for comparison, since I'm thinking about this, This is the 18-inch round that I did for the Ghost on Ghost series. And you can see at the proper angle all of the colors that are present, okay? But looking at it from head on, it's just kind of muted, very monochromatic, but get it in the right light, and it's all kinds of fancy, okay? So the interference are different from the pearls, but I like them very, very much. So yeah, this is what they look like on a white base, and this is what they look like on a dark base. So thanks again for joining me for another painting video. Tahira, I hope this answered, the questions that you had about the interference on a dark base. And I hope that you, not only try it and post it so we can all see the masterpiece. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. If you are new to my channel and have not done so already, please consider hitting that subscribe button, that like, please leave a comment. Go as far as to share it. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Bears Den Acrylic Art. So once again, thank you so much for sticking around for another video, and you all have a good evening.